Good morning, everyone. Today we will discuss mail survey. While surveying mail survey, how can it happen? Like what actually mail survey is? When we talk about personal interview, we generally go and talk to people face to face. In case of telephonic interview, we call people and talk to them. Either we talk to them or we share some recorded responses or recorded questions, right? In case of internet surveys, what we were doing, we were sharing a self-administered questionnaire on website, and through that we were conducting the interviews, right? In all of them, we were using some sort of questionnaire. In case of mail survey as well, we will be using a questionnaire. What we can do is we can either provide people with the questionnaire through mail, through post. We can provide a printout of the questionnaire to people, and we can ask them to fill it up within few days, and we will go and collect them. Or we can provide them with a blank envelope, and we can post that envelope with the required amount of tickets, so that they do not have to spend money on that particular thing, and they can post back to us, to our organization. We can do that, but people will not take pain to send the questionnaire back to you. So you have to do something like that you will mail the questionnaire to them. You can post them the questionnaire, and you will ask them to fill the questionnaire within 2 days, 3 days, or within a week. Then you will go and collect them personally, so as sometimes to give them some reward as well. You can mention that you will get some rewards if you answer the questionnaire, or you can mention, you can provide them with something in the envelope itself, or you can go door to door and provide them the questionnaire and tell them that you will get reward when you give the questionnaire back after filling it. So you can do certain techniques. This is one way. Or another way is providing them the questionnaire through email. You can email the questionnaire to them, or you can provide the link to them, so that they can fill it up in a survey. So both ways it can be done. It is actually mail survey when you provide them the questionnaire through mail, through posted mail, through the registered post, right? And when you provide them questionnaire through their email, that is also a kind of mail survey. Now let us discuss some advantages of mail survey over other techniques. Speed of data collection. It depends on researcher. Generally, he has no control over return of questionnaire, but he can expedite the process by telling them about different reward system, but generally it is slow. Then geographical flexibility, it is also high if you can maintain it, because if you can post the questionnaire to different geographical locations and maintain something like that, like I mentioned in the first option, that you can provide them with the with one more envelope, so that they can fill the questionnaire up and put the questionnaire back in another blank envelope and post that back to you. If it happens, then yes, geographical flexibility is very high. In this case, you can post the questionnaire to different locations as per your choice. Then versatility of questioning, yes, it is highly sanitized format. Then questionnaire length, it varies depending on incentive. What kind of incentive you can provide, accordingly you can put questionnaire length. You can provide good incentives if you want questionnaires to be filled properly, because you will have to spend some amount of money as well if you will be going for surveys. It depends on your budget also. Otherwise you can go for internet surveys, which are actually cost effective. Supervision of interviewers, it's actually not applicable, so it's beneficial. because you will be doing the job by yourself. Or if you are hiring a person, you will get it back, you will get the questionnaires back. So supervision is actually not required. Anonymity of respondent is very high because you don't know the respondent, and respondent has also not seen you, so it's very high and it is good for respondent as well. Ease of callback or follow up, it's very easy but it takes time, but at least it option is there. Cost is lowest if done properly. It depends how are you actually doing the mail surveys. Some disadvantages are also there. Respondent cooperation in this case is very moderate, or you can say in fact poor as well, but it depends on how you have designed the questionnaire. If your questionnaire is designed poorly, then it will have very low response rate. If you have designed questionnaire beautifully, then also respondent cooperation is little difficult in this case. The possibility of respondent misunderstanding, it is very high because no interviewer is present for clarification. In case of internet surveys as well, sometimes we in case of internet surveys, you are getting the response instantaneously, so you can clarify a few things with the respondent. But in this case, in case of mail surveys, you might not have anything, any contact point, any contact information related to respondent, so it is really highest when it comes to misunderstanding part. Then degree of interviewer influence of answer, it is none because interviewer is absent, so it automatically leads you to sometimes that to that situation where respondent is not actually answering to the question. In case of internet surveys, what we were doing is we could go for some filters so that respondent has no choice then filling all the answers. But in case of mail surveys, we do not have that choice as well. So sometimes respondent don't even reply in case of interviewers absence. Then item known response, it is the highest in this case because nobody is there to tell them that they have to respond to the question. So sometimes, most of the times, they don't reply to all the questions. So this is the highest, but this can be reduced if we go for email surveys. We are discussing mail surveys here. Mail survey means both the things, either you are mailing the questionnaire through the post, registered post, you are giving them the printout and asking them to fill all the responses, or you can provide the questionnaire through email. This would be this can even be called as email questionnaire surveys. Speed of data collection in this case is instantaneous. You can ask them to email the responses to you, or you can just provide them the link, just like in case of internet surveys. Internet surveys can be sometimes just for the website, and you cannot actually monitor who is filling the questionnaire and who is not filling the questionnaire, right? But when it comes to email questionnaire surveys, you can actually see who is filling the questionnaire and who is not. You can ask them to provide their email IDs, or you can just ask them to just mention whether they have or you can just do some settings in your own questionnaire, in your survey details, that it tells you that who from which email ID the questionnaire is being responded, right? So in that case, speed of data collection is really very high, and you can clarify a few things. For example, those disadvantages can also be eliminated when it comes to email questionnaire. Then geographic flexibility is worldwide, and it is actually inexpensive as well. In case of mail surveys, it was quite costly if we were using geographical flexibility in our advantage, but when it comes to email surveys, geographic flexibility is actually worldwide. It is actually done, it is actually true. Then cheaper distribution and processing cost, yes, it does not require actually any cost, because you are not you do not have to pay anything extra to mail something to people, right? You are using internet services to mail something to someone, but that is actually being used by you, right? Even if you are not emailing the questionnaire, so there is no extra cost for that thing, but it might include some disadvantages as well. Yes, email surveys are flexible, but extensive differences in the capabilities of respondents' computers and email software limit the types of questions and the layout. Sometimes it also happens. Again, these are the things which we discussed in internet surveys. All the disadvantages would be same, but still we will discuss them. uh, Email software sometimes is a limitation. Sometimes the way you have designed questionnaires can questions in the questionnaire can be of some disadvantage. Then emails are not secure, and eavesdropping can possibly occur. Emails are sometimes not secure. Sometimes we get messages like this, mail content of the mail is not secure, if you want to open this or not. Sometimes if this message is displayed on the screen, people might not even open your email, right? So this is also one of the major disadvantages in case of email survey. Then respondent cooperation, it again varies depending if email is seen as spam or not. Sometimes even if it is not in spam, people do not reply to such things if you email them the survey. So this again should happen with something very good, some good exciting statements, or some rewarding statements, some rewards, so that can be helpful. How can we improve survey results? By building the rapport with the respondents, or maybe by redesigning the questions. You can go with some pre-test. After pre-testing, you will know that which are the questions which are being left out, which are not answered by most of the respondents. So that you can redesign them, or you can remove them from your questionnaire if you think that without them it can be done. Because it removing some questions from your questionnaire will even improve the length of the questionnaire, and people might get interested to answer the questions. Then alternative strategies can be used. You can actually go with different kind of the surveys. You can involve some personal interview kind of the thing in this. You can involve some telephonic survey as well. You can actually go with the strategy that you will be interviewing people differently. You will be interviewing people through different kind of the surveys. That can also be done if you feel like that survey is not responding. Then stimulate interest. Uh, you have to make people interested in answering the survey, otherwise it will not happen. Because if they do not find your survey interested, then how would they reply? Because they are also not getting anything in return. So you have to make your survey interested, otherwise you will get very low response. Then continuity and flow. Yes, questions in the questionnaire should be maintaining a flow. They should be continuous. Like, it should not be like you are asking one kind of the questions right now, and then another kind of questions you are asking, then again you are asking some questions which should have been asked earlier. So it should not happen. There should be a continuity and flow in the questions. It should be like you should be starting questionnaire with asking basic questions first, and then with difficult questions in the end. Then question sequence, it should be proper, like I mentioned. It should be logical. It should not be like that you are asking them their income first, and then you will be asking them the name, right? You will always start with some basic questions, like asking them their name, their age, their interest and everything. Then you will be going with other technical questions. So questions sequence should also be proper. Increasing response rates for mail survey, overall mail surveys. You can increase the response rate by writing a sales oriented cover letter. Your cover letter also should be good so that to motivate people to answer to the questions. Money helps. You can offer them money if your budget allows so that to get good response rate from people as a token of appreciation or sometimes as charity. Then stimulate respondents' interest with interesting questions. Sometimes you can include some questions which are not actually part of survey, but just to maintain the interest of the respondent. You can include some questions for that purpose as well. You can follow by keying questionnaires with codes, right? You can again include some questions which are not actually necessary, but just to maintain the interest of respondent with different codes. Like you can mention in your survey, you can mention at the time of response, recording the response of your survey, that these questions are not to be included, these answers are not to be included in the survey, but you can mention them at the time of survey so as to maintain the interest of respondents. Then advanced notification can be provided to people so that they are prepared to reply to your mail survey. Sponsorship by a well-known and prestigious institution can be given to them so that they reply with good interest. Sometimes it helps. Yes, cover letter, how it should be. It generally contains the name of the research company and how to contact the organization if there is a problem or a concern related to the questionnaire. It should always be there. You can mention it in the form of like in this way, like if you have any concerns or questions about this survey, or if you experience any technical difficulties, please contact so and so person, please contact on this number, or email us your concern at this particular email id, and you can provide them with all the details related to your survey. You can tell them that your company is doing this survey for this and this purpose. You can involve them by asking them their suggestions about the survey. You can ask them about different pricing techniques, even if you are not interested to ask them. You can ask some indifferent questions also from them so that to make them interested to answer to your survey. Then a letter of instructions can also be provided with mail survey, which includes specific instructions to provide answers. Some questions might be different, some questions might be difficult to answer, or you might be willing to provide some kind of instructions to provide answers to some specific questions. That can also be done. And this letter of instruction can also contain one important information that is related to reward for answering. As small as a pen can be a good reward sometimes. You can tell them that you will be getting a pen with your name, you will be getting a pen with our company's logo, something like that. Or you can even provide them a discount coupon. It depends on what kind of the company you are. You can provide your own company's discount coupon to them, or you can provide some, at least something which might interest to respondent so that to get good responses from them. This is all. Let us discuss some true false. Number 1, mail surveys can reach geographically dispersed respondents who are otherwise difficult to contact. We are talking about both the mail surveys here, normally posted, and the surveys which are conducted through emails. Yes, both the surveys can reach geographically dispersed respondents. One is little costly, another one is costless, but still both can reach dispersed respondents. So it is true. Second, mail surveys allow respondents to check facts that they may be unable to recall. Is it? Mail surveys allow respondents to check facts that they may be unable to recall. How is it How is it possible? Because you will be having the questionnaire in your hand, right, when you are going through posted mail survey, and in case of email surveys also you will be getting all the responses. So it is true. Third, the basic calculation for obtaining a response rate is to count the number of eligible people who were asked to participate in the survey, then divide that by the number of questionnaires returned or completed. No. The basic calculation for obtaining a response rate is to count the number of questionnaires returned or completed, then divide that by number of eligible people who were asked to participate in the survey. So this is false. Fourth, the first paragraph of a cover letter that accompanies a questionnaire should explain why the study is important. Yes, this is 100% true. If you explain to people, to respondent, that why your study is important, they will be more interested to reply to the questions. Fifth, one way to increase response rates in mail surveys is through multiple contacts with the potential respondents. Yes, it is true. You can contact them multiple times so that to get the response. Last is, an internet survey is the same thing as an email survey. No, it is not. It is a false. Email surveys involve making the questionnaire available to a potential respondent via email, whereas an internet survey is a self-administered questionnaire posted on a website. An email can include a hyperlink within the body of an email that directs the respondent to a website that contains the questionnaire, in essence, making the email and internet survey at this point. Self-assessment questions. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of mail surveys. What are the advantages and disadvantages of mail surveys? Though we discussed them, you can just list down all the advantages and then discuss them with the help of some examples, or you can even just list down all the advantages and keep explain one example for each advantage. Advantages of mail surveys basically are data collection speed, geographical flexibility, versatility of questioning, questionnaire length, supervision of interviewers, anonymity of respondent, ease of callback, and cost. The cost is lowest, like these, right? List down all of them and then give some example. Then disadvantages of mail surveys are respondent cooperation, possibility of respondent misunderstanding, degree of interviewer influence of answer, and item non-response. List all of them and then give one example. Second is, explain how response rates are determined for surveys and discuss ways to increase response rate for mail surveys. How response rates are determined? The response rate is basically the number of questionnaires returned or completed divided by the number of eligible people. The response rate basically is the questionnaires actually completed by people and then divide it by the number of eligible people who were asked to participate in the survey. Typically, the number in the denominator is adjusted for faulty addresses and similar problems that reduce the number of eligible participants. Suppose you gave you distributed the questionnaire to 1,000 people, and for example 100 questionnaires among them were returned to you by the postman that these addresses were not available. So in that case, you can always count just 900 questionnaires as eligible participants, right? So as to get a better figure in response rate. How can we increase the response rates for email surveys? It might include number one, include a cover letter. You can offer monetary incentives or premiums to people, basically your respondents. You can include interesting questions, conduct follow-ups, which may include a duplicate questionnaire or merely by a reminder to return the survey. Use codes to key questionnaires coming from the addresses. Then notify respondents in advance. Keep survey sponsor anonymous. Other techniques includes type of envelopes, stamps, or color of questionnaire papers as well. You can actually offer them hefty amount if the response is very important for you, right? There are so many techniques to improve the response rate. You can actually use different kind of techniques for different kind of people, different kind of geographical locations. By the time you'll be distributing all the questionnaires and you'll be getting some responses, you will know that how to lure other respondents to respond to the questionnaire. That's all. Thank you.